name's Can Soma, and I am on the Keith Andrew Show. Make sure you tune in and watch and support Keith Andrew Network. I think he's doing an amazing thing. He's a great influence for other people, and I'm excited to show you my interview with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last episode of the Keith Andrew Network. It is episode 799. That's right, 799. Today, we have professional TV personality and actor Can Soma. What a great episode we had. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network. Follow us, brought to you by HB Gibson and Life of a Fighter. Let's get right into it, and I will catch you later. Alright, so for people who want to know what my catchphrase is and what the show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. Never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. To prove them and still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. But with that being said, you do not have to have a learning disability to be on my show. You have a great story, and I'm more than willing to give anyone an opportunity. So, big disclaimer, you do not have to have a disability. The reason I say disabilities is I'm turning myself into an example with someone who suffers from disabilities. Big misunderstanding I get from a lot of people. But with that being said, first question I want to ask you is tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you came to do what you do now.
So basically, I'm an actor and TV reality personality from London, UK. I've been doing acting for over 10 years now, and I've been doing reality TV for about 3-4 years. I've also since made a production company, which we make our own films on Amazon and music videos, etc. Just trying to keep myself busy. But yeah, mainly I'm an actor and TV reality personality. I've done a few TV shows on Channel 4 and E4 in the UK, national TVs, and several films that's been cinema release and DVD release.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I do have some great ideas about cross-promoting if you're interested about that.
Okay. What was that?
All right, so pretty much I look for certain people to invite to my network, and I'm a big wrestling fan. The next question I was going to ask you if you like NXT UK, but before you answer that, for me, I'm a big wrestling fan, obviously, and I'm like, well, if they can have other people on their networks and help promote their stories and their films, I'm like, all right, why can't I do that? So I have, a couple of people who I interviewed from professional wrestling, Raven, Justin Credible, Chris Harris. I have HB Gibson from the X Zone, Life of a Fighter. And of course, a lot of people are like, who the hell is HB Gibson? What is his Life of a Fighter? But that's the idea. If you help them put them on the network, people say, oh, this is what this person does. Okay, I like what they're doing. I will subscribe to their channel. But also having it on my channel is, okay, we can see that you guys are working together. So if you're interested, I would love to make a channel for you on my account, and I can share some of your work and get my viewers interested in what you're doing, and vice versa. If that's something
That'd be amazing. Of course, that'd be amazing. I have to say though, I love your opening speech and your motto. I've got a motto. My name's Can. So my motto is, if anyone can. Because if anyone in this world can do it, no matter what, why can't I do it? And it's similar to what you said earlier. Like if anyone can do it, you can do it, and it's true. Like what makes you different to anyone else? Nothing apart from what you want to put in your own brain. So if you want to put in your brain that I can do it because they can do it, then go and do it. So yeah, if anyone can, anyone can.
And as my hero and mentor used to say, okay, I really don't have an actual person I can say, hey, come on down. I am a big diehard fan of Dragon Ball Z. So
Okay.
for my mentor is Son Goku and Vegeta. And Goku said in one of the episodes, if there's a will, there's a way.
It's true. 100%. That's a very big saying. Very big saying.
And the one thing that really caught my interest, actually, let me go back to what I was saying before. Are you a wrestling fan? And have you gone to NXT UK?
I haven't really been into wrestling. When I was younger, as a kid, of course, WWE, and I remember I had the toy where you had the ring and then you can bring the characters on. I used to love all that. But a friend of mine, he's a film director, James Nunn. He works a lot with WWE fans. I'm not fans, sorry, WWE wrestlers, and he's made like films recently as well in the last couple of years of these new WWE wrestlers. So you never know. Maybe one day I can get into one of these films, but yeah, no. At the moment, I really haven't had the time to follow it. But even in the UK, like obviously America is where wrestling that's where it starts. Do you know what I mean? But it's coming more and more into the UK, and it's getting bigger and bigger into the UK. There's more events I'm seeing now and posters of wrestling events and stuff. So yeah, you never know. There's going to be international wrestling matches between America and the UK.
No, that would be amazing. And
Yeah.
it's funny, you also mentioned America, but it's also big in Canada. It's funny because it started in Canada,
Okay.
then came to the United States, and then it went to the UK. Now it's actually, I think it expanded to Japan. Having a brain fart. New Japan Pro Wrestling. China, I'm not really sure if they have their own company. They might. I don't know the name of
Yeah.
it. So I'm not going to spin my head around that one. But you have companies, and I bet you have some independent wrestling companies in the UK I probably never heard of.
Yeah. I've heard that it's up and coming now. Independent wrestling and stuff. The closest I've done to wrestling was a boxing match. I had a celebrity charity boxing match for a charity, and that's probably the first and last time I'm ever going to get into the ring. But yeah, even doing that, like I can't imagine what it's like for wrestlers. I mean, it must be amazing. But even that, we had about 2,000 people watching, and it just felt amazing. And then I won the fight as well. So I've declared myself the champion, and that's it. I'm retired.
Hey, that's the best way. You win one match, I'm retired, I'm undefeated.
That's it. I'm undefeated, and I'm happy with that.
So the next one I want to ask you was everything that you accomplished, because I'm very interested in your TV personality, is who influenced you to become a TV personality? And from everything that you've seen in me, do you think I can follow in your footsteps?
Okay, that's very, really good questions. So firstly, TV reality, I kind of fell into it. I didn't plan to ever doing reality TV because in the UK they always say, look, as an actor, people don't take you seriously if you do reality TV and stuff like that. I don't think that's true because number one, it's great for a platform. You get a lot of fan base, and if you're a lovely person like yourselves, you have people like you, and you create a positive fan base. Therefore, you get into films better because you can take a fan base to other people's films and get more people to watch their films. So in the UK, that's a very good positive thing to have. And yeah, I started off obviously acting, and the person who influenced me was a actor called Tama Hassan. He's actually from the same country as me. I'm from a small island called Cyprus, and he's also from the same place. And there's not many Turkish Cypriot actors from Cyprus, so he was the only one. He's done American films, he's done British films, he's done loads, and I've got to meet him, and we've like met a few times now. But after starting my acting career, but before that, I used to look up to him on TV and go, look, I want to do what he can. And again, if anyone can, if he can do it, why can't I? So I've tried my best with a lot of support from friends and families, and people have helped me in the industry to get to where I am now. And then I kind of fell into reality TV. At the time, my girlfriend and me, we decided let's do TV together. We have a lot of laughs, and she's a very bubbly character, fun bubbly character. So we said, okay, cool. Let's go on. Let's apply for a show and go from there. And then literally, we done one show, and then people start calling us to do other shows, and it's like we was climbing a ladder.
No, absolutely. Now,
And
oh,
your
go ahead.
question about yourselves, of course, you can do it. it's all about having a character. And already from what you're doing on these interviews and from what I've seen that you're doing, you've got a character to yourself. You are interesting. If you weren't, I wouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? You're interesting to talk to, and people like that on TV. People don't want to put a TV and just see someone sitting there. People want to see someone that has a bubbly, fun character. And like ourselves, I don't see why you can't do it.
No, I agree. Now go rehash it on what we were talking about, but I do want to tweak it in a certain way. What is the biggest change? Well, just trying to have brain fart. When I don't do my interviews as a way, my disability shows more hint of the show. But anyway,
It's fine. We're all unique in different ways.
no, I agree. So this is the same question for your acting, for your films, and for the TV personality. What is the biggest change you have made to your career? And okay, let's do that one first. What was the biggest change?
That's a very good question. These are questions, and I've done loads of interviews before, and I haven't had questions like these, and these are really good. The biggest change, I would say, the way I present myself. Obviously, I started when I was young, so I was 15 years old when I started, and you don't really think about what you're putting on social media and the things you're saying and the way you're acting. And I try to always be as professional as I can, and obviously freedom of speech, and I get to say what I want to say. I try to be careful what I want to say because things can impact you in the long run. Um, I've seen loads of things on social media. I try to stay away from politics and thing because number one, I don't think it's worth it. As in, it is what it is. That's how I live my life. It is what it is out there. I can't change the world. Um, I think it's more important for me to work on myself and change myself to a better person than change the world. Because I'm not a magician. You know what I mean, there's too much going on in the world for me to work on that. But yeah, the biggest change would be to just keep professional, be careful what I say in public, and be careful what I do in public.
Now, the same part about it, it's like, what is the biggest change you have? Say, what is the difference between making a change and a difference between your TV personality and your acting personality? Is it the same thing? Do you like to make a difference?
Also, another good question. So basically, with acting, so the way I see it, I have three different personalities. I've got myself, which I'm at home. I reserve my energy. I call it my reserving stage. So I don't need to go around my house and putting quotes out and being bubbly and fun and things. I don't need to do that. I save that for the TV. Whereas acting, I could be a million different personalities because every job I do as an actor is a different role. I played police officers, I played gangsters, I played drug dealers. And these are totally different to what I am in real life. So that's another personality in each self. When it comes to TV reality, that's when I use my reserved energy and I try to be as bubbly and as fun as I can for cameras. And at the end of the day, I know it's reality TV, but it's also entertainment. So I need to create entertainment, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting on that chair in front of that camera. So I try my best to make it fun, bubbly, and I try to bring out that side of the personality of mine, the fun side of it. And it's like when you're around kids to adults. When you're with kids, you're more playful and you change your tone and you're more fun, whereas with adults you might be more serious. It's a bit like TV. TV is like more immature side of me that comes out.
Sometimes for me, it's the opposite. For kids, I'm more serious, and for adults, I'm more goofy. Maybe that's why I rub people the wrong way. But the other one is, your acting career, you're done some amazing work. I wish you the very best. And hey, if you need an extra, you know where to find me.
100%. Well, I'd love to. Are you in the US then?
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to make a film in the US one day. So if I ever do, I know who to call.
No, absolutely. And we can cross promote.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned that. What can you tell us about your filmmaking?
So filmmaking sides, as an actor, you can't go into the acting industry expecting to make money and be famous and like that, because it doesn't happen. It takes time. And I've been doing it for over 10 years and I'm still not a millionaire. So yeah, it does take time. But I didn't want to get a second job outside of the film industry because I wanted to keep all my passion and love in the film industry So even when I'm not acting, I'm still connecting with professionals. So I decided to go to university and study film and behind the camera, actually directing and stuff. I've always had a little interest in it, but not as a lifetime goal. My lifetime goal would be to be a successful actor and famous and live off my acting career only. But I thought, I'm not going to go work in a supermarket. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go study film. And I thought also, if I go to university to study film, all the people around me, all my friends are directors and producers. They're future directors and producers. So I'm kind of already making that connection there as an actor. Well, I've kind of gone into their circle and I'm like spreading myself around there. So that was my action plan. And yeah, we've made like short films. We've been nominated for an award last year for a film called Oceanville. And that was a film that I directed. And I wrote a film when I was 15 called Merked. And I finally got to make it a couple of years ago. And it was shown on London TV. So that was quite a successful moment for me. I've got a couple of films on Amazon as well. I'll send you links for the trailers and stuff. Yeah, there's a film called Leonard on Amazon. That's also in the US as well, Amazon Prime on US. So I'll send links, and it's a short film, but it's a nice little story.
No, that sounds absolutely amazing. Well, actually, I want to give you a challenge. And this challenge may sound stupid, but I want to know how you feel about it. Okay. With everything being locked down and quarantine, and that's going to be my next question, how you been during quarantine? Say, for an example, I challenge you to make a video or a short documentary about me. Now, obviously, I can't jump on an airplane. First off, I'm scared shitless of airplanes, uncensored. I'm sorry about that. But say, hypothetically, you say, I accept your challenge. How would you put me in a film? Like, would we do something via Zoom and just edit me in, or how would you have a stunt double?
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, if I was to do something like that, I would make it more interesting. So I wouldn't just get a stunt double and go outside and film. Because I would like to put, if it's a film about you, I'd like to put you as much as possible. So what I would do is something that a lot of film producers have been doing recently, making a film from Zoom, a Zoom film. So I've seen like a horror film where it was all filmed on Zoom, and basically this horror film started off in Zoom, like people were just having a chat, and then things were starting to go wrong, and then it was really interesting. But it's all filmed on Zoom, so it's like a double challenge, because it's a challenge about making a film about someone that I don't really know, as well as a Zoom film. So yeah, interesting.
So what would your idea be about me? Do you think I would benefit from, because there is a film academy where say you can submit films, and it's for people with disabilities. And I was like, oh, this sounds really interesting, because hint, I have a show, I have a disability. But do you think I should do a documentary? Because you're in the film business, I'm not. Do you think a documentary is a way to go? Do you think maybe a reality show? What is your, I know I'm throwing too many things at you, I do apologize.
No, it's fine, that's perfect. I think the best thing would be a film. The reason why documentaries is something that a lot of people would be doing. Now, for me, the reason why I think I've done all right so far with acting is because I use my uniqueness to get myself out there. So my unique point is that I'm from Cyprus and I'm a bit more tanned, and there's not many Cypriot actors in London. So I'm using that to my advantage to do my acting career. So I think with you can use your disabilities as your advantage. Turn it to, keep it as a positive thing. Do you know what I mean? So you can you can make a film based on your disabilities and show what you can do with the skills you have and your uniqueness, instead of doing a documentary that everyone else kind of does. And TV reality is still, it's an exaggerated personality, whereas a film, you can make it to how you want it to be.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Anyone can make a film and a documentary, but you need to make something, one, your own, and two, connect with the audience. That's the biggest thing.
100%.
There's a wrestler, I don't know if you know his name, The Miz. He was on MTV, the reality show. And now look at him. He's an A-lister. He's been in movies, WWE movies, but still, he's
Yeah,
been on the
yeah,
big screen. He's married to a beautiful woman, and he came a long way from a crappy reality show to being a household name. And I think that's the challenge, for me, for you. You want to make yourself a household name. People say, I know that name. I'm going to see the film. For an example, Robert Downey Jr. I can see his face. I can't think. The guy from I'm Gonna Find You. Liam Neeson.
yeah,
I give you an example. We saw a bad Liam Neeson movie, Snowpiercer or whatever.
yeah,
See, that's how bad it is. I don't remember the name.
yeah, yeah,
But the reason I saw Liam Neeson's movie, it's Liam Neeson.
yeah, yeah.
Hugh Jackman did a movie. Doesn't matter what it's about. It's a Wolverine. How can you say no?
And this is what I was saying earlier. Like the name that you make is now business. It's like when you hear like you got like McDonald's and KFC. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's a name. You would go there because it's McDonald's. You'd go there because of the name of the place. So your name is very important. And that's why I think reality TV. A lot of people don't like people doing reality TV, but no, because you're making a name for yourself. You're creating that. You're getting that name around for people to recognize and start watching your films because of your name. So your name is a business.
It's funny you should mention McDonald's. One movie I would recommend. It's a decent movie. It's not like, oh my God, I have to go see it again. It's a good movie if you want to learn something. And it's The Founder.
The Founder. Okay, I have heard of that. I was going to watch that. That was a couple years ago now, wasn't it? I remember. I do want to watch that. I'm a big fan of McDonald's anyway, so I do want to watch that. Yeah,
But if you want, I can tell you all about it, not to ruin it for you.
yeah. Try not to ruin it for me. No, we'll leave it. I'll watch it first. I've heard what it's about, and yeah, I'm definitely interested in watching that. So thank you for that.
No, absolutely. So the next question I want to ask you is everything that you accomplish, what are some of the best advice? You mentioned you're a TV producer, actor, and film. Now, I want you to give each of those categories one piece of advice someone said to you.
Okay. So with acting, the biggest advice with acting is don't go into it expecting to make money. A lot of people make the mistake where they go into acting, expect to make money, and after a couple of years of doing it, they give up because they haven't made what it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. There are situations where it can be overnight, but that's just lucky. It does take a lot of work. It's not easy to get to a household name from acting. Also, this goes for more acting and TV reality, because I've got a lot of reality TV friends as well, where some of them do this mistake where just because you've done one film or just because you've done one TV show, don't think yourself that you are the household name, because you're not. You're very likely not to be. And don't think because you might have, I don't know, a couple 100,000 fans, or not 100,000, but a few thousand fans. Don't think you're a household name, because there's always higher. There's never think that you're at the top, because there's always a higher place. So you can always go better and you can always go higher. And when you do stuff like when you start thinking, oh look, I'm at the top now, I'm untouchable, that's when you start getting knocked down, because you start getting big-headed. You start thinking, look, I don't need to do interviews, I don't need to do this, because you have to pay me £10,000 to do an interview with you. But no, you actually know one. You're actually no one. You're not the next Hugh Jackman, and do you know what I mean? So yeah, never think that you're at the top. Always think that I've got more to do, I've got more to go, and that will make you better as a person as well. So they're the two I would say for TV reality and film. And for film producing, don't let anyone ever tell you you can't do it. Don't, because like I've done films before where people have gone, look, that's going to be a crappy film. No one's going to watch it. No one's going to like it. The film's gone out in cinema. They've watched it, come back to me and gone, you know what? That's a really good film. Oh, that's funny, but you thought it was going to be nothing. And then, do you know what I mean? So don't take hate and criticism. Don't like criticism. Take it. Criticism's great. That's another thing. Always take criticism in a positive way and work on it. But don't think about the hate and don't look into the hate. You do you, because at the end of the day, the way I see it, if you're getting hate, the more hate you get, the better you're doing. As long as you've got some positive people following you and supporting you as well.
And I agree. And the biggest thing is you have to be humbled.
Humble, 100%, 100,000,000% humble. I know a lot of people that have done that mistake. They thought they're at the top, and all of a sudden they just go from here. Imagine the top is all the way up here. They go from here all the way down, and you never hear from them again because they thought they were untouchable, and then they've upset the wrong people. They've overcharged the wrong people, and they made a bad name for themselves. I know people that will charge £3,000-4,000 just to go to a charity event because they think they're amazing, and then they don't get picked, and then they start making bad names for themselves. So yeah.
And there's a perfect, wrapping up the show. There's perfect examples. People who self-destruct, Miley Cyrus, Megan Fox, Bruce Willis. I don't care what movie this guy did. If you're an asshole and someone, no one wants to work with you. And exactly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, agree with you, exactly. And these are household names that you're saying. So imagine the people that think they're the household names that they're not. And imagine how much worse that looks on them.
No, absolutely. It's for me, we're going to go overtime, but I want to say just one thing. For me, when I worked over at Walmart, I always like to connect with the audience, the customers. And this one person said to me, "You're very personable. You're really someone who you don't have this type of, you look at anyone else, their heads are down. But for you, you're smiling. You look happy to be here." And it's like, yes, because the first impression is a lasting impression. And then I say, by the way, I'm a talk show host. And she said, "You know what? I'm going to be honest. You're in the wrong type of work. Why are you in a place like this? It's because regardless, if I become famous, I'm going to have one foot in reality and one foot in the entertainment world, and I will never change myself." And that's the biggest thing. You should never change, because once you change, you take away that one thing that made you unique, one 100%. Thing that made people connect with you.
100% agree with that.
Now, wrapping up the show, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.